Let's take you to the story now. President of the African National Congress, Cyril Ramaphosa, will launch the party's 2019 Manifesto review this morning. The rally will be held at the Dobsonville Stadium in Soweto. This will also be an opportunity for the governing party to take stock of the work it has done in the past 5 years. Natasha Phiri is covering the story for us, and we take you there live. Natasha, thank you so much for your time. So, 7 commitments sold to South Africans in 2019, and many would argue that very little to show there is right now. Is this review going to be painful for the ANC? And perhaps take us through some of the conversations that are happening there right now.
Well, policy, we continue to bring you rolling coverage, and a part of those conversations is that we're taking these conversations to ordinary people, to ordinary ANC members, and of course I just want to interview the people that are with us right here, because at the end of the day, it's not about the leaders, police, it's about ordinary ANC members, it's about ordinary South Africans on the ground. But let's just engage with Abo Mama and Abo Mkhulu and Abo Bhuti la stadium. Mama, we are live on SABC, who's joined us. You've come to now here in 2019. He made several commitments to the people of South Africa to increase employment opportunities. But unfortunately, 4 years down the line from the 2019 Manifesto launch, you have a situation where a lot of young people are unemployed. So what are you anticipating to hear, and when as an ANC member, why should people vote for the ANC?
Abantu bafanele bavotele ANC ngoba ANC iyo ANC different, big different from the other parties. They join khona ya no, because hane isikataba ya ANC batho ba bang ba join ANC khona the parties tse ne batla ba sa join, and go join o etsa di parties tse go etsa hore ANC e boele go fase, because a khona ntho e tla etsagalang within 30 years, because we've been struggling for 100 and something years back. So re khono o kopanya dintho tse go fela ke rona re tlameileng re di etse dilo tse as Africans gore re gate re go pele. So go etsa di party go etsa re ANC o ka ra etse ntho e right, of which e etsa ntho e right.
Mara mama motho di tko high hona no o sa sebetseng ne or I've lost all faith in the ANC. Ke a utlwa hore re mara motho di tko high hore ha mara batho ba ANC ba corrupt hona le ege hona le babo wena o ka re go bona
ya mesebetsi yona e ka se etse ke ANC fela, le di party tse ding tse di joinile le bona a ba etse gore mesebetsi e be teng, because ba joinetse go etsa the very same thing e etsang ke ANC. And for motho o sa sebetseng, nna ke re go sebetsa so ya go le goeng fela, ba ka baka la hore re tlhoka backup ya batho bana ba kreileng tukulugo ya hore everything e tlameile e etsagale a go be jalo le mo bona ba se ke ba sheba ANC fela, because it's ANC dead, because koloi e emeng a etse di mistake mara koloi e tsamayang e a chaisa e tshwana le ntja fela ha se di utse a ilome batho.
Let me just also take this conversation to other young people here that we see at the stadium. Sir, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. You've come here. In 2019, the president made over 200 commitments, and the ANC says they've achieved over 70% of these commitments. But you can't help but wonder, youth unemployment is high, load shedding is now worse, the cost of living is too high. What commitments are you looking to actually hear from the president, and what do you think the president has actually achieved?
Yes, thank you so much. As a loyal support and member of the ANC, we recognize those commitments made by the president. And in terms of the youth, we know, for example, the NSFAS budget was increased, and but also we want more stronger governance on NSFAS, so that it can benefit those it's intended to benefit. And as the president has come out on strong against corruption and saying he wants to strengthen governance systems. So I'm appealing to the president to strengthen the systems in terms of NSFAS. We know the SIU has been investigating it, so we're keenly waiting for any money that that went to the wrong places to be returned, and so that the true beneficiaries of NSFAS may be the ones who enjoy it. And in terms of employment, we appeal to the President that they must open the economy for young people. Young people must get...
I'll just request you to speak a bit louder.
Yes, they must open the economy for young people, and we appeal to the President that, they've done the presidential youth initiative, and that those young people who are brought into the schools, that let them be retained, and also that let them also be deployed in various teaching portfolios that are relevant to what they studied, so that they get the necessary skills that will keep them for the future going forward. And young people must not get left behind. So I appeal to the President, there are young people who are going to come in the stadium. So there are young people who believe in this organization, but they need the organization to believe in them as well.
As a young president, do you find expression within the ANC? I know that there's a newly elected leadership of the ANC. The ANC Youth League is now turning 79 years on the 10th of September. But as you said, the economy needs to be opened up for young people. Just looking through some of the commitments of the ANC, they had said that they would be empowering young people through SMMEs, but there's still that red tape.
Yes, the Youth League is holding its birthday celebration next weekend in Mpumalanga, and again, we want them to speak to young people today, and also want the Youth League leadership to speak a message of hope, a message that will energize young people, and give them something to look forward to. And I think for us as young people, in terms of all the initiatives that they've opened for businesses of young people, I know, for example, that even the Department of Small Business, they are funding more funding for young people. We have the NYDS, for which we want to be given more finances, because now the NYDS has been given a lot of burden to fund so many young people who are left out of the economy. So we need the NYDA to be given more funding for its mandate to be extended, so that it is given the necessary authority to be able to reach young people who are, like, as you've said, they've been affected by red tape. Because one of the things, for example, you ask young people to be funded, but now, problem now, their businesses are not registered, they don't know where to start. So
and they don't have adequate training.
Yes, like where do you, for example, certification. What if in your area and there's nowhere to go for you to go? You have to pay transport, to go get certified, all the necessary documents. So now that's where now these things must be made easier. Where the president has talked about digitization, digitization of government systems, so that you don't have to travel far, so that to get your job application or whatever that you need for your business. So these are the things that we need, so that there must be made easier for young people, so that young people can enter the mainstream economy.
One of the commitments that the ANC had also made is fighting corruption. But you look at the state capture report and its recommendations, 97 members of the ANC are figured in the state capture report. Some have brought themselves to the Integrity Committee, some haven't, and they now need to go to the National Disciplinary Committee of the NEC. But you also have a president who, there's this cloud hanging over him in regards to this Phala matter. For a person who's at home who says, but listen, there seems to be no accountability in the ANC with fighting corruption, what can you say to them?
Yes, I think even the president in his engagement yesterday with the media and various professional and academics, he did mention the State Capture Commission, the work it has done, and even the money we spent on it. And obviously those recommendations are there to strengthen our institutions, they are there to strengthen governance, where, for example, there was a loophole in legislation that allowed all those things to happen of state capture. I think for the president, let us implement those recommendations. And also as well, let us look where, for example, state capacity needs to be strengthened. And in terms of all, those who are implicated, I think as we strengthen our law enforcement, like right now, I think there's a bill to strengthen the work of the NPA, and I think that's going to be key. And I also know as well, for example, there's a bill also to strengthen, for example, how we deal with financial crimes, because one of the issues that we have is that it's very difficult to prosecute financial crimes in this country, and a lot of the corruption, which, like, for example, people say like it's untouchables, it's financial crimes, where, for example, you don't know, for example, the trace, you don't have systems in place. So this is where the president must strengthen. We need to go after financial crimes, so that we go for the real culprits who use state money for things that it should not be used for.
Thank you so much. Well, and our SABC there's interesting conversations coming out here from more ordinary ANC members out of the stands. Of course, a lot of commitments made there by the ANC. It would be interesting to actually take stock of what was said, what was achieved, and what was not achieved. Remember, the ANC had said that they promised to actually open up this process. They promised to be frank in their engagements and discussions with ordinary members of society. And of course, all these engagements that will be taken and all these inputs will be taken will then inform the 2024 manifesto of the ANC that will take place next year, just before the watershed elections. But I do implore you to stay tuned to SABC News. We're also active on our social media accounts and our YouTube page as we bring you live coverage of President Ramaphosa, ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa's 2019 Manifesto Review Program. With that said, it's back to you, Studio Mqodisi.
Listen, Natasha, thank you very much for that update. We no doubt will be taking you back on a bit later on in the program as we continue to see developments there.